Hi everyone and welcome to Wild Roots Fabric. My name is Shauna and today we're going to be making these no waste flying geese units. They come in all different sizes, but today I'm going to be showing you the finished size of 3 inches by 6 inches. So please join me, gather up all your supplies, and let's get started. First things first, you will need your supplies. So you will need your cutting mat, you will need a rotary cutter, you will also need a ruler, and I like to use what's called a magic wand. This helps to draw the diagonals across your squares, and then also a fabric pen. So after you gather up all your supplies, we will get started on cutting our fabrics. You will need 2 different fabrics, one main color and one background color. And these are the colors that I have chosen. This one here, and then this beautiful color as well. And what these units will end up being is the size will end up being a 3 by 6 finished flying geese unit. So what I did was I cut my first square, my blue, I cut it at a 7.5 inch square. And then my smaller squares I cut into 4-inch squares. So after you have your fabric cut, what you will do is you will go ahead and take your smaller squares, and after you have them cut, you will take your magic wand and your fabric pen, and what you'll want to do is you'll want to have the back side of the fabric up that you can draw on, and then you will take your magic wand across the square, line it up in the corners, and what you want to do is you want to draw a line across both sides. Okay, and as you can see, we have 2 lines on there, and what you'll want to do is we want to do that on all 4 of the squares. So again, line it up on the corners and draw a line on both sides of your ruler. These lines are what you are going to be sewing on when we take it to the sewing machine. Okay, last one. Okay, and after you have drawn your lines, what you will want to do is you'll want to take 2 of the squares, put the other ones out of the way, and you'll want to take your big square, and what you will want to do is you'll want to line up the squares right on top, put them right in the corner there, and you'll want the lines to be going that you drew to be going across your square. Now this will look a little funny. What you'll want is overlapping here in the middle. That's exactly what you need. And so after you line those up, what you will want to do is you will want to take some pins, and you will want to pin on both sides of your lines on both of the squares. This helps just to keep everything square and even for us as we take it to the sewing machine. So we pinned that one. Let's go ahead and pin the last one. Okay. Now after you do that, you take this over to your sewing machine and you'll want to sew down both of these lines here. Okay, after you have taken this to your sewing machine and sewn down both of the lines, what you'll want to do is take out all the pins. And then after that, grab your bigger ruler and your rotary cutter. And what we are going to be doing here is taking it and we are going to be cutting it right in the middle of the lines that we just sewed. So we'll take it, we'll line it up. And if your ruler isn't quite long enough, slide your ruler up and keep cutting. Okay, now what we are going to do is we're going to take this to the ironing board. And what we're going to do is we're going to press these open. And they will look like little hearts. Okay, so I went to my iron and I pressed these seams, and this is what they the units look like so far. So our next step is going to be taking our other 2 squares that we had cut previously. We're going to take them and we are going to place them on our units just like this. And we'll want to line it up in the corner. And you'll want to pin this one as well, so you'll want to pin on both sides of the lines. Okay, and as you can see, I have it pinned and I have the lines going down this way. So what you want to do is you want to sew on both of these lines again. And so I'll show you one more time on the other units. We will take it just like that. Put that right in the corner, line it up, and then pin it down. So take this to your sewing machine, sew down both of the lines, and bring it back to your cutting board, and I'll show you the next step. All right, so after you bring your units back to your cutting board, what you're going to want to do is take out all the pins. Okay, and then after that, what you're going to want to do is if you shade sewed them like I did, you'll want to snip them apart. And then you'll want to take your ruler, your bigger ruler, and you'll want to cut right down the middle of the 2 lines that you sewed and cut just like you did previously. So we'll do that again. You'll want to cut down the middle. And then what your next step will be is to take these to your ironing board and you will press these just like that. All right, so after you have ironed them, bring them back to your cutting board and you will end up with 4 units, 4 flying geese units. So what we have to do now is to trim our blocks. And so how we're going to do that is you'll take one at a time and we're going to have it with them pointing at us. And then you will take your ruler. There should be a diagonal line on your ruler. What you're going to do is you're going to line that up. And what you want is this point to be at 3¼ inch. And so once that's there, you'll take it and you'll trim off both ends. You won't be trimming off a whole lot, but this just squares it up to help us on our next step. So you'll turn this around. And at this point, you don't have a diagonal line going this way. So what you need to do is trim it up to 6½ by 3½. So we have our 6½ inch line right here, and we have our 3½ inch dotted line right here. And we'll take it and we'll just trim off those edges. All right, everybody, there you have it, your 4 no-waste flying geese units. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel and sign up for alerts for when I make a new video. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.